Hello again YouTube, Keith with another video on my carry options. This kit here, I know it looks huge, this is what I would carry if I'm going out for the day in the woods with a couple of friends. I'm planning on having maybe a small fire or just going somewhere a bit more out in the wilderness than I normally would. It all fits into this snug pack response pack. That's around about £15, excellent bit of kit. Everything that you see on this table more or less will fit in that snug pack response pack. Excellent bit of kit. And then once it's in the response pack, green bag there is a large carry more dry bag, just to keep everything nice and dry. The dry bag you can see there, I won't get it out because it's a pain to get back in, but I've got a military grade tarp and a couple of bungees just to hook it around trees if you need a quick makeshift shelter. Very handy to have. They're around about £25. You can get them second hand on eBay, places like that. Don't go for a cheap one because it won't do any favours. Okay, so if I start from the front then, like I said, all this stuff on the table will fit into that response pack, and this is what I would carry if I'm spending all day out messing about in the woods. Okay, so first off, I've not had to use it yet, but you've got the BCB survival fishing kit. You see the contents are on the front. Picked this up for around about £3. Not too heavy. Handy to have. Might use it, might not, but if you haven't got it, you can't use it. Okay, next we've got the Petzl Takina 2 head torch. Very bright, runs on two AAA batteries. Two modes, on, lower light, and off. I used one of these when I did the 3 Peaks challenge the other year. I was up Scaffold Pike at 2 o'clock in the morning with this wrapped around my head. So yeah, I can vouch for it being useful. What have we got next? This is just a cheap stainless steel sport spoon type thing. I would like to upgrade to a Light My Fire titanium spork if I get a chance to. But this was £3. The titanium sporks are about £10–15, so maybe later. Next we got basic first aid kit. I think I picked this up in Mountain Warehouse. Around about £10. It's got all the plasters and sort of bandages and everything you might need, including some burn gel, which has been used after I burnt myself on a meth stove one time. Very lightweight. I say just under £10. You'd be absolutely daft not to take some form of first aid kit out if you're spending all day out in the woods on your own or with a couple of friends. The orange box is just a case for this here. This is a High Gear Inferno gas powered stove. About £20 I got it from Go Outdoors. All these legs fold out into a nice large spider, so it's got quite a stable base to cook on. I say it goes into this little orange box here that folds down in there. Okay, I need to upgrade this one really. This is just a cheap plastic survival whistle, nice and loud, probably a bit flimsy, so if you sit on it or stand on it, it's just going to break, but it came with the first aid kit, and I will get around to upgrading that at some point. Always handy to have a whistle when you're out and about. It takes a lot less energy to blow a whistle than just to shout your head off if you need assistance. Okay, we've got the Bahco Laplander saw. I chose this one based on a lot of people's reviews because the teeth on this are actually wider than the blade, so it doesn't tend to stick in the wood. They're apparently sort of fused on at the factory. If you have to pull the blade out for a minute, give me a second. As you can see, a nice long blade. The teeth are razor sharp. Don't expect to pay any more than £20 for one of these, and you can go through, you know, trees a good sort of 4 or 5 inches in diameter, no problems. And if you shelter building, we just need to process some firewood and you don't have an axe on you. I do have a hatchet. I've got a Savannah hatchet I paid about £25 for. Brilliant bit of kit, but this saw's a lot lighter, a lot less offensive looking if you're carrying it. Okay, we've got a silver military base plate compass. I picked this up second hand for about £10–15. Seems to be the running theme, doesn't it? £10–15 my kit. This works in mils rather than degrees, so it's 5,600 mils as opposed to 360 degrees. The reason being, this is more accurate for calling in mortar fire and things like that. That's why I use mils. They're more accurate. A bit harder to read, but you'll get used to it. Magnifier on the front. Couple of luminous dots if you need to use it during the night time on your map, and the base plate and Roman scales are larger, so it does make it easier on bigger maps. Okay. Nothing exciting about this one, just a small tin of gas. I chose a small one because it fits in the response pack nicely. It's a more expensive way of buying and using gas, to be honest, but I don't use it all that often. The reason being I've actually got a cooker in my kit is just so you can have like a cup of coffee or pot noodle and you don't necessarily need to get a fire and go to do it. It's just a sort of quick fix solution, if you will. Which moves on nicely to my cup. I've got a titanium cup from Alp Kit. A friend bought me this for my birthday. It's an absolutely fantastic bit of kit. As you can see, it just got all the Nescafes and milks and stuff like that in there. The handles fold in flat, flush to the cup itself. The orange stuff is silicone rubber. It's fuel hose for radio controlled cars I picked up off eBay. The problem was I put my actual cup on the stove, which is great because you can just boil everything in a cup and then drink it straight off the stove. However, the handles do get red hot. If you put some of this silicone hose around the side, you have to pull the handles off, obviously. It was about £1.50 for a great length of the stuff. Just sort of jimmy it on and you can more or less pick it straight off the stove without burning your fingers. Lesson learned. The cup was, I'm not sure if I mentioned that, was outkit.com. Box of matches. I prefer using matches when I'm out and about because they're more reliable, in my opinion, than having just one dedicated lighter. You know, if your lighter fails, you've had it. Whereas a box of matches, you got, you know, a good 80-90 of them in there, so the chances of them all being duff are pretty minimal. Plus, it's handy if you're lighting a fire because you can drop the match and you won't burn your fingers. Whereas you hold a lighter upside down for too long, it's going to singe you. You can get 4 boxes for £1 in Morrison's at the moment. Good value for money, in my opinion. The more companion knife, which I've reviewed already, don't need to say anything on that, but that tends to come with me. I believe that's one last thing on the table. I was about to finish off then. The High Gear silver emergency blanket. You can pick these up anywhere for £1 or £2. If you're freezing cold, you come across someone who's hypothermic, whatever you need to keep them warm. For £1 to £2, minimal weight. Yeah, very useful to have. I think that's everything. Yeah. I say all this goes into a response pack. It's not the lightest bit of kit in the world, I'm not going to lie to you, but you know, I think it's pretty comprehensive. It's not everything you need for sleeping out overnight. If I was sleeping out, I'd be considering things like sleeping bag, obviously, a couple of pots and pans, you know, just bulking my kit out a little bit more. But this is fantastic just for, you know, just a day out in the woods with a couple of mates, and that's pretty much everything you need there to stay warm and that. I will be doing a video on my interpretation on the survival thing, so I've had a look at the BCB stuff, and to be honest, I'm not impressed with it. There's a couple of bits in there that I changed straight away, so I thought, rather than do that, make your own. So I'll do a video on that next for you. Hope you enjoy. Any comments or suggestions, let me know. Bye for now.